Welcome to the Visa Mo, Sagot Ko, ang kauna-unahang lingguhang talakayan ng mga bagong balita at batas ukol sa Australian Migration Law and Process. Tuwing Miyerkules 6 to 6:30 ng gabi mula sa Auspac Visa. Auspac Visa is a trusted Australian migration agency for Filipinos all over the world. Auspac Visa is the home for all Filipino professionals, skilled workers, partners, families, students, graduates, and trainees who want to visit, live, work, and permanently stay in Australia. Makipanayam dito sa Visa Mo, Sagot Ko, ang kalahating oras na talakayan ng mga balita, batas, proseso, at mga isyung tungkol sa pag-a-apply ng Australian visa. Kasama niyo po si Teresa Cardona, Director, Lawyer at Registered Migration Agent mula sa Auspac Visa sa Brisbane, Australia. Paalala lang po na ang mga talakayan at mga impormasyong mababanggit sa programang ito ay sa pawang mga impormasyon lamang at hindi payong legal at hindi rin at walang kinalaman sa mga personal at natatanging sitwasyon ng mga nanonood at nakikinig. Ang Australian Immigration Law ay madalas na nagbabago kung kaya't makabubuti na ugaliing magsayasat at humingi ng payong akma sa inyong pansariling pangangailangan. At ngayon, live mula sa Brisbane, Australia, ang inyong host at tagapagtalakay ng mga balita, issue, batas at proseso na nauukol sa Australian Migration and Visa Application, Teresa Cardona, Director, Lawyer, and Registered Migration Agent from Auspac Visa.
Hello, good evening everyone. It's Wednesday, Miyerkules po ng gabi ulit. Visa Mo, Sagot Ko, hatid po sa inyo ng Auspac Visa. My name is Teresa Cardona. Ako po yung principal ng Auspac Visa. Kasama ko po yung team namin na palaging nandiyan na tumutulong sa amin. Okay, so magandang gabi po. So sa mga gustong bumati, you can. Pakisabi sa amin kung nasan lugar na kayo para naman alam namin kung taga saan yung aming mga viewers tonight. Ayan. Okay, so with our topic today, I'm not so sure kung kayo ay putting a lot of interest in this, no? Kasi parang student visa palagi yung nasa immigration news, no? Almost every day, ano bang gagawin? Tapos na ba itong mga problema sa student visa, no? So, dyan pa rin, no? Pero, papansin nyo, no, naglabas na ng detalye ang immigration about the changes that will take effect on the 23rd of March. So, ayan po. So, inilabas na yung amendment under Migration Act, Migration Amendment Surplus 500 Regulations 2024, which will commence on the 23rd of March 2024. So, ilang araw na lang yan, no? Malapit na. Pero, of course, the takeaway here is you will need to know whether you need to lodge the application now or wait for the changes on the 23rd of March. Pero, warning po, no? Meron na lang tayong isang araw to lodge the visa applications kasi I think on the 22nd, there will be a system maintenance, no? Pagka merong system maintenance, syempre hindi ka makalodge ng online, no? Pa on and off yung online or totally wala yung online application. So, if you think sa mga babanggitin kong mga changes ngayon ay mas maigi na mag-lodge ka today, tonight, until tomorrow, then do it. Otherwise, you will need to wait on the 24th, pag natapos na yung maintenance, to lodge your visa application. Now, March 24 onwards, lodge the visa application, but mind you, you will be affected by the new changes if you lodge your application after 23rd of March. Okay? So, with this, ipaliwanag natin kung ano ba itong mga mangyayaring mga pagbabago. Maganda ba o hindi ba maganda? No? So, unang-una, alam natin, when you're applying for student visa, you are required to make a GTE statement, right? So, GTE stands for Genuine Temporary Entrant. Okay, so ang pinag-uusapan yung entrant, no? Genuine temporary entrant. So papasok ka sa Australia with a genuine intention that you're going to stay in Australia for a temporary or short period of time without any prospect of permanent residency. Yun yung GTE noon. Yung GTE, kaya nga yung mga GTE statement nyo, di ba? Iniiwasan nyo palagi yung pagbabanggit na mag-a-apply ako ng permanent residency in the future. So kung ano-ano yung mga dahilan na may business kami sa Philippines, I want to go back to Philippines para improve yung business, magtatayo kami ng childcare center, o kaya naman magtatayo ng restaurant. Basta lang maipakita sa immigration na I'm not studying for me to become a permanent resident. But of course, at the back of your mind, and alam niyo naman na you're studying in order to at least, work on the prospect of getting permanent migration or permanent visa to Australia. So, that was before, no, GTE statement. Kaya merong ganun ginagawa tayo na GTE statement, ano, kasi sabi nga nila, genuine temporary entrant. That's why it's GTE. So, what is going to happen now? Wala na ang GTE. Merong kapalit, yung tinatawag na Genuine Student Requirement. So, GSR. So, sabi natin nun, GST, no? Pero ngayon, GSR pala, no? Genuine Student Requirement. So, anong difference ng Genuine Student Requirement? So, sinasabi dun sa amendment na pwede na kung merong prospect of permanent residency, pwede nyo na rin sabihin, pwede nyo na rin aminin na merong ganon. No? So, hindi nyo naiiwasan. Baka nga naman meron kayong prospect para makakuha ng permanent residency sa Australia. So, pero hindi na kagaya ng dati na iwas kayo ng iwas. Kung may nakikita kayong prospect, pwede nyo nang sabihin ngayon. So, that's the genuine study requirement na sinasabi nilang pagbabago. Kasi sabi nga ng mga human rights advocate, hindi naman pwede yung ganun, no? Masyado namang na-disadvantage yung mga kumuha ng student visa in the prospect na magkakaroon naman sila talaga ng PR because meron na silang skills, meron na silang competency, meron na silang qualification. So, bakit mo i-deny sa kanila? At ba't mo pipilitin na mag-segue sila? Parang ganoon. No? So, anyway. So, ngayon, it's genuine student requirement. Ngayon, meron bang basihan? Ganun na lang ba yon? Of course, there's a basis for that. At mas marami pa ngayon na pwede kang ilagay o pwede na marami ka pang ipapaliwanag ngayon. Hindi kagaya dati, no? You have the statement, okay, yung iba pinapasulat pa. Kaya sabi nga nila, may kakilala ka bang GTE writer? Something like that. No? Pinapasulat nila kasi minsan ay yun yung inilalagay nila, no? Pero ngayon hindi. It's going to be different. So from genuine temporary entrant, it's going to be a genuine study requirement. And then, yung 300 words o yung 300 word statement na nilalagay natin doon sa loob ng application, that will have to be changed. Mapapalitan po iyon ng mga targeted questions on your reasons to want to study in Australia. So now, you need to really reflect, bakit nga ba sa Australia pa ako mag-aaral? Baka naman may available course sa inyong bansa, pero bakit ba sa Australia? What is this going to do with your career prospect? So, may mga questions na lalabas dyan. So, it is interesting kung ano-ano yung mga questions na lalabas dyan at kung paano sasagutin. And then, ano-ano yung mga examples ng mga questions. So, ano yung, hindi naman examples, kundi ano yung mga konteksto ng mga questions na lalabas, no? So, unang-una, nandiyan yung, ano ba yung current situation mo? What is your current circumstances in your own country? Naalala nyo noon, meron ganun, di ba? Doon sa GPA, personal circumstances. So, ngayon, lalagay mo ngayon yun, isasagot mo sa loob mismo ng iyong application, not in the form of a statement. So, details of your current circumstances, including ano ba yung ties mo sa family mo, ano ba yung ties mo sa community, ano ba yung ties mo sa employment mo, maganda ba yung employment mo, meron bang kalalagyan yung pag-aaral mo sa Australia para sa iyong employment growth. Now, the second one is the economic circumstances. Again, so dito titingnan, may kakayanan ka ba talagang mag-aral sa Australia? Given that the tuition fee in Australia is very, very expensive. So in saying that, we do expect some financial evidence still, ano? In fact, yung mga universities nga sila nangihingi ngayon ng mga financial evidence. So, economic circumstances. Ano ba yung kalagayan mo economically in your own country, which in this case, we expect immigration to be asking for the financial status of the family, no? Or even more, show of assets within the family or immediate family. So, kasama yan dyan. And also, kasama rin sa mga magiging tanong ay yung parte ng you need to explain, no? Some sort of explanation on the choice of your course. No? Naalala nyo doon sa GT statement nyo, you are also articulating the value of the course to your professional growth, di ba? So ngayon, ganun din. Meron din mga tanong tungkol doon. No? But this time, you have to explain the choice of the course. No? So similar pa rin yun, pero in a form of question. Siguro may mga questions na makikita kung ano yung consistency mo dun sa talagang gusto mo. No? So the way of testing you, kung talagang naiintindihan mo yung gusto mong gawin. No? And then, of course, your reasons of choosing Australia as your study destination. So kagaya rin yan nung una, no? Why Australia? Why specific school? Why specific program? What do you see in this school? What do you see in this program? What do you see in Australia that really wanting you to come to Australia to study? Okay? And then, of course, andyan din yung context ng benefits of the course to your personal life and to your professional career. Okay? So, kasama pa rin yon. So, kung bubuin nyo, para rin GTE statement yan, di ba? Kasi hindi naman exacto yung laman ng GTE statement niya. But this time, it's not going to be in a form of statement. Wala kayong GTE writer. Kung hindi, merong mga questions wherein probably you will be asked to say yes, no, and then explain, whatever. So just making sure perhaps that you are consistent with the declaration that you are saying, no? What's the good thing about this? Hopefully, it will be an objective questions na madali nilang ma-measure or ma-assess yung mga sagot nyo. But also, having said that, this is not to disregard the discretionary power of the case officer to make a call whether you are whether you're meeting the genuine student requirement or genuine study requirement in Australia. So it's still there, no? So hindi naman tinatanggal yung yung discretionary power, and that was our problem. Why there are so many refusal? Because the case officer has that discretion. Hindi black and white yung test, no? Unlike many years ago, no? Ito naman masasabi ko kasi pagkat 18 years na ako in this profession, no? Alam niyo noon, maybe 12 years ago, the test was very objective, no? Kung may financial capacity ka, meron ka bang pera o wala? So, pagka meron kang pera, genuine student ka. And then second, meron ka bang ECOE or wala? Ibig sabihin, nagbayad ka sa school, nag-enroll ka sa school. Pagka may ECOE ka, genuine student ka. Pag wala, hindi. Pero normally, you do make an application with ECOE. Pero noon kasi allowed pa yung letter of offer. So, kwento ko lang yun para malaman nyo yung pagbabago ng student visa application. So, with this now, with the changes now, so parang bumabalik tayo dun sa una. Kaya lang, ang pagkakaiba noon, walang discretionary power, yung case officer, because the test was very objective, either yes or no. Pero now, the test could be very, very subjective kasi pinag-uusapan yung genuineness No? Mahirap ilagay sa objective test yung pagiging totoo, yung pagiging genuine, kahit kayo, di ba, sa mga tao, parang ang hirap malaman, totoo ba yung sinasabi niya o salita lang, lip service lang. Pero minsan naniniwala tayo, no? So, ganoon, mahirap ilagay sa objective test. But still the same, the case officer has that discretionary power to refuse or to grant that visa. Depending, of course, dun sa kanyang assessment, depending, of course, dun sa assessment criteria that the laws are setting for us. But again, it is always subject to interpretation. Okay? So, ngayon, what's the difference with those people, with those students who are currently holding a student visa or who previously held student visa? Is there any additional requirements for them? Yeah. So yes, you do have additional requirement this time because this time there will be some questions asking you about the details of your study history. So whether you've been refused before or whether you made an application, withdrawn the application, whether one college refused your entry or whether you had issues with your college when it comes to failing to come regularly in class, or whether you probably failed to meet your financial requirements with the college. No? So, yun, magkakaroon ng mga details of your study history. And whether you failed the subject or whether nag-defer ka or whether iniwan mo and things like that. So there will be questions. There will be additional questions for those who have held student visa or currently holding a visa and then applying for a new one. And then, of course, your reason for lodging another student visa. Kasi really, if you're going to look at it, one student visa is enough for you to actually do what you really wanted to do. But it happens that one student can jump from one course to the next. Yung iba nga 10 years na dito, study pa rin. No? Iba't iba na yung course na nakuha nila. Mukhang naubos na nila lahat ng pwedeng course na kakayanin ng kanilang budget at kakayanin ng kanilang isip. No? So this time, you have to articulate, you have to provide reasons why you are applying for another student visa. And then, of course, it will be your obligation to actually say to the immigration whether or not there is a relevant information that you need to provide. Because if the immigration finds out na relevant pala yung information na yun pero hindi mo disclose, then immigration can come back to you with, of course, PIC 4020 requirement, the non-disclosure of important information. So the onus will be on you. The burden is on you. So do not wait for the case officer or for immigration to inquire, meron ka palang ganito, please explain. No? So, ganun. So the onus will be on you to at least provide them with relevant information that you think is important or critical to your visa application. Okay. Now, those are the additional requirements for those who are currently holding a student visa and wanting to apply for a new one. Now, pero for all the student visa applicants, what are the requirements? What are the new requirements for you? The foremost in this one, tungkol dun sa announcement na binigay nila, is you will be mandated or you will be required to sign a declaration confirming the following. Number one, that you have understood understand what it means to be a genuine student coming to Australia. Okay, so number two, that you have read, you have understood, and you're committed to comply with all the student visa conditions. Actually, ginagawa nyo na yan. Minsan nababasa ko na yan sa GPE na nagbibigay kayo ng declaration nyo. But this time, it will be within the application. And also, bago ko ituloy yung pangatlo, also, when you make an application, don't think that it's just an application form. Now, when you make an application, it is your declaration. So, it is as if you are stating, it's just like a statutory declaration. Sinasabi mo, dinedeclare mo ng totoo lahat ng sinasabi mo sa application. So, don't treat it just like, application form lang yan, madali lang yan. Because each question in the application form has its implication. No? You don't just read it ng ganong tanong. There are implications why immigration is asking you that question. Okay? So, wag masyadong magdunong-dunungan if you don't really understand one question. Maraming nagkakamali dun sa mga ganong klaseng mentalidad. Okay, so the third one is you will be required to sign a declaration that you're going to notify the department of any changes in your circumstances. And then number 4 is while post-study pathways to permanent migration are available, there's only limited number of graduates that can remain lawfully in Australia. So meaning, yes, there will be a temporary graduate visa available for you or even permanent visa available for you, but it doesn't mean to say that you can be eligible to get all those things after studying in Australia. There's no promise to that. So meaning to say, the 485 visa will be changed. So alam na natin yun, no? Baka nga mag-slash ng 35 years old. Kaya kung ikaw yung estudyante, mag-aaral ka, I have to do what I need to do bago ako mag-turn ng 35 para mag-qualify ako sa whatever, so sa temporary visa or something. So the target of immigration is very clear, the young ones and not the older ones. No? Hindi yung mga third, fourth career change nyo. So yung mga fresh graduates and talagang pupunta rito para mag-aral because there's so much ahead of them. And then lastly is if, say for example, your visa will expire or has expired, you need to leave Australia or you need to depart Australia. Mas mabuti kung at the date of visa expiry or before visa expiry because after visa expiry, then obviously you will become unlawful. So magkakaroon po kayo ng record na kayo ay nag-overstay sa Australia and therefore unlawful. Okay? So yun yung mga changes no, sa student visa application na mangyayari on the 23rd of March. So kung sa palagay nyo na mas maganda yung magiging sitwasyon nyo after the 23rd of March and sa effectivity nito yung mga changes na ito, then so, go for it. If not naman, kung mas gusto nyo yung regulations ngayon, edi sige, mag-apply na hanggang bukas. Pwede. Pero on the 23rd, wag na po nating, meron pa, no? 21 and 22. So tomorrow and the following day. 22nd, I think nighttime, there will be a maintenance. So medyo alanganin na yun. Baka hindi na matanggap yung inyong application. Pag nag-close for maintenance ang online system ng immigration. Okay? So hopefully nakatulong yun at nakalinaw sa inyong mga pangamba. Alright. So let's start with the question so we can finish early at marami pa po kaming trabaho ngayong araw na ito. So tingnan lang natin siguro very few questions and maybe we can finish earlier this time kasi marami po kaming trabaho today. Okay. From Michelle Cachapero. From Michelle Cachapero. Sorry, Michelle, I can't pronounce it right. Attorney, I have a question. I am 41 years old with 17 years of experience as an engineer or lead engineer. Will I still have a chance? Is that a chance or a change to work in Australia? Which visa is faster for me, 189 or 190 or 491? So if you're 41 years old and you're eyeing for 189, 190, or 491, maybe it's best muna to actually make an assessment about your points and about the possibility of which state can sponsor you. Kasi pagka state-sponsored ka, well, obviously, mas madali ka ma-invite kasi kailangan ka ng isang state na iyon, no? Depende sa magiging score mo, no? Kung mataas at kailangan ka ng state na pinupunterya mo, di mapapabilis yan. Pero kung hindi naman, siguro ang pinakamabilis talaga is the 482 visa, which means to say, it's a work visa, which means to say that you need to get an employer to sponsor you. Kasi if an employer can sponsor you, then your application can be finished, in 3 months. No? If you're ready and the employer is ready and you can be in Australia within 3 months as well. And then from there, you can possibly apply for permanent residency under 186. But be mindful of the timing, no? Kasi ang 186, ang cut-off din yan is 45 years old or under 45 years old. Yeah. It's possible, but we need to see first your score. So if you need to to get an assessment about your score, about the assessments that we need to do, about your skills assessment, about the points, about the state, then maybe you can book a consultation, because that's exactly what I do in the consultation, to actually look at your personal circumstances and then apply whatever options that can be okay for you. Okay? Yeah. From Chris Kieran. Good evening, attorney. My sister and her children are here in Australia. She's under 485 visa. Her boyfriend wants to sponsor her to stay permanently. Her other son is on student visa on his own. He is 21 years old. Is it possible that he can join her in spouse visa application as a dependent? So meaning to say your 21-year-old son? Yes, possible, as long as the child is financially and wholly dependent on the primary applicant, which is your sister, for a partner visa. There are some things that you need to prove kung 21 years old na, kasi over 18 na, no? But it's doable. Yeah. Okay. Question from Andoy Pruni. Good noon po, attorney. I have OCBF for 1 year and we met last year. I want to apply tourist visa, fully sponsored niya. I'm unemployed, pero isa akong katulong ng sister ko for 7 years until now po, at yung sweldo ko ay cash. Pwede po ba ito gamitin as strong ties? Wala po ako asset. Salamat po. Okay, well, kung walang sweldo at cash, then obviously walang evidence para patunayan na siya ay employed ng kanyang sister. But you know, we've done a lot of application in similar circumstances, and we were able and we are able and managed to get a visa for them. No? It's really exploring other aspects of her life. No? Hindi lang naman basta sa wala siyang asset o wala siyang sweldo. Well, obviously, there's no denying that it's a hard application. It's not an easy application, but we've done a lot of tourist visa application, and most of them, surprisingly, in the first look, hindi pwedeng mabigyan o mag-grant ng tourist visa, but we were able to get tourist visa for them because we were able to explore all the different aspects of the applicant as well as that of the sponsor. So maybe yung friend mo, if she's really keen, even the boyfriend, if he's also keen on, reuniting here in Australia and be together, I will suggest that they book a consultation para nang sa ganon, makita ko yung ibang aspects bukod dun sa sinasabi mo ngayon. Baka meron akong makita, baka marami pa kaming makita na po pwedeng gamitin para magkaroon ng laban yung tourist visa application niya. No? So, ganoon na lang, no, para mas makita namin and matanong ko siya ng maraming tanong para nang sa ganoon ay alam ko rin kung kaya or hindi. Okay, so next one. This is a question from Jason Kirk Arnaiz. Nagre-require pa po ba ng IELTS pag level 2 school vet course? Well, at the moment, IELTS was mentioned to be changing as well on the 23rd of March. But as far as the circumstances now or the situation now, we're still level 2 and merong prerogative ang case officer na humingi ng IELTS. And apart from that, of course, in college, pwede rin sila magbigay ng internal English test para dun sa applicant. Ngayon, kung ang sinasabi mo mandatory for level 2, it's not mandatory, but the case officer has the prerogative and has the discretion to ask for IELTS. And also, mind you, that IELTS is also one good expression of an applicant being a genuine student to come to Australia. So that will help in the application. Kaysa yung you want to come to Australia but you're scared or afraid to get an English test and you try to avoid it. I think at some point you need to form a proper mental set And the proper mental set is if you are coming to an English-speaking country like Australia, where everyone is speaking in English, then you will at least need to find out your level of English so that when you know your level of English, if that is below what is supposed to be normal in Australia, then it's that there's a message for you. The message for you is to keep on improving. Don't just settle for whatever you have. So yun yung mental set mo na you need to keep on improving every single day. Not the mental set of mahina yung English ko, I wanna avoid, I don't like to get the IELTS kasi baka hindi ko mapasa. That's not the correct mental set. Because hindi ka makakaligtas dun eh. No? Especially if you are thinking of a temporary graduate visa no, after your student visa because English is a requirement. No? At the moment, it's 6.0. But then, there was an announcement that it's going to be pushed up to 6.5. So, where will you be? No? So, try to get a good mental set about English. If you need to take the test, take the test. If you see your score is low, then work on it. It's a challenge for you, right? Yeah, but for your question, the answer is it's not a requirement, it's not mandatory, but the case officer has the discretion or prerogative to require for an English test. Okay? From Michelle Cachapero, and this is another question from her. Is there a chance for an Air Force maintenance officer in the Philippines to have a successful skills assessment on TRA? ANSCO 32311 111, sorry. Of course, yes. But to be able to get a positive skills assessment from TRA, it's not easy, of course. So there's documentation, evidence of your past experience. But yes, it's always possible. Yep. Anything else? From Mama Susan, attorney, 37 years old na asawa ko, pag-graduate niya ng Masteral Engineering sa Australia. Anong visa pwede niyang applyan after student visa? Yung experience niya sa Pinas, 10 years, pero not related sa electrical engineering. Okay. So after the master's in engineering, I would assume that you're still covered by 485 and therefore can apply for 485. No? Even if may mga announcement na nga na hanggang 35 lang yung graduate visa, pero wala pa yun sa batas. Di pa natin nakikita yon. We are hoping that there will be a transitional arrangement for people who are already holding student visa. So we'll see about that. Ngayon, yung experience naman niya ng 10 years sa Philippines before coming on a student visa, it really depends. Ano ba yung experience niya? No? So, meron bang binagsakan yon o doon sa occupation list na meron sa Australia? Kasi if he was able to do at least a 10 years work experience, then maybe that should be enough for skills assessment. Or maybe that's good enough for RPL so that you can obtain a positive skills assessment. Depende, ano ba yung occupation? Pero obviously, if it's an engineering occupation, that will require a bachelor degree that is relevant to the occupation. No? So, depende kung ano yung ginawa niya in the passing 10 years. That is also what I would like to say. No? Please don't jump straight away to student visa. I know student visa is quicker to process than any skilled migration, pero you may be eligible for skilled migration. So don't make student visa as your first stop. No? So get an assessment first for your work experience, for whatever you do in the Philippines, especially pag mahaba na yung work experience nyo. Baka naman eligible kayo for skilled migration rather than coming on a student visa. Kasi student visa is very expensive. And also, kung napapansin nyo, yung mga pumapasok ng student visa, they lost their expertise or they lost their work experience. Kasi nga, napunta na sila sa ibang linya nung napunta sila dito sa Australia. nasayang naman yung kanilang work experience, you know. So, get a professional to actually make an assessment of your work experience before jumping to student visa. Okay? Because at the moment, yun yung priority, no? Yung merong mahabang work experience in a particular occupation. Kasi, again, sasabihin ko ulit to, no? The immigration found out na maraming nag-student visa, nakatapos, nagkaroon ng qualification, and targeting yung nasa occupation list. Pero pagkatapos nilang ma-PR, pagkatapos nilang makakuha ng visa, hindi naman yun yung gagawin nilang trabaho. Sa ibang trabaho sila pupunta, hindi doon sa naging qualifications nila. And so the economy suffers, the planning suffers as well because whatever is the shortage doon sa labor, hindi na solve, no? Kaya patuloy yung papapamigrate ng mga tao dito. So hindi na ko close yung gap na dapat na i-close ng pag-open ng student visa o ng kahit na ng anong skilled migration program. Okay. Question from RC Cristobal Simbaco. Attorney, mahirap po bang mag-extend ng student visa due to change course? Thanks po. Depende. So this time, come 23rd of March, obviously you need to meet the genuine student requirement and you need to explain why you are doing that. Pero in the past few months, nakita nyo, yung mga nag-shift, yung mga nagtatransfer, agad-agaran, yung mga refusal, napakabilis. So hopefully it's making a little bit of sense now sa change na ito, no? Kasi ang ganda nung submission na ginawa ng human rights advocates, no? For student visa and prospective student visa holders in Australia. Kung may time kayo, basahin nyo. Napakaganda nung kanilang sinasabi about human rights, that you cannot be discriminated, no one can take away your dreams, no one can take away your prospect of making a permanent visa application because you have been qualified, you've done you're competent, you are skilled, and you cannot be punished just because you come to Australia and then study in Australia. So conclusion is, if the permanent pathway is available for them, let them be, because it's available. Otherwise, you have to close the permanent pathway for them. Kung ganun rin lang naman yung gagawin niya. So it's really a beautiful piece of submission coming from the human rights group. Okay, and I think that changed the tone of how student visa holders are being treated by the Department of Home Affairs, which is, good for the human rights people, advocates. Anything else? Okay. Ella Maria Leonor. Hello po, from my 485 visa po. I can still go back to student visa, right? All right. Yes, you can if it is approved. Are there any rule change about that? Well, from the last announcement, the minister said that they won't allow a 485 visa holder to go back to student. It's not going to happen. It will be refused. So that was the announcement before. But this time, it's not legislated na hindi pwede. So yeah, you can. Any change about that? Maybe when you apply for the new student visa, you've got to explain why you are making another student visa application, and whether you can convince the case officer about your reasons and then give you a student visa. So sabi niya, I am actually considering a career shift, so I want to acquire another qualification for another field of work. I am an ECE grad and childcare worker now. Okay, yeah, if you can justify that, because at least at this point in time, there's in-announce na change, there will be a portion for the current visa holder or current temporary visa holder in Australia. Why you need to apply for another visa, you have to justify it. You have to give the details and then provide reasons and justification why you are doing that. So whether it's going to be approved or not, I don't know. Now we have to see the entire application, whether it's strong or not. Yep. Nej Arandela Castillo, that her question is, hi attorney, how many band score of PTE for 189 visa? For 189 visa, the threshold is competent 6.0, and that is without any score allocated. Pero kung mataas na yung score mo, let's say for example 7.0, then you get 10 points, and then when it's superior English, then you get 20 points. So that's the score. Okay. Is there anything else? Okay, so Andy Soriano Villanueva, hi po, gusto ko lang pong itanong kung may chance po ba akong makapag-apply ng PR po. I'm 45 years old na po ako ngayon. I'm skilled worker po ako, sa panel beater po ang work. Thank you in advance. 45 years old, kung skilled migration, di na pwede. Pero subclass 482 work visa, baka pwede pa kasi wala namang cap ng wala namang cap ng age. Unfortunately, baka hindi ka na mabigyan ng permanent visa because of the age. But temporary visa for 482, yes, possible. From Joanna Almari, hi attorney, I'm an international student under subclass 500 po, and my boyfriend po, whom I just met last year, he was also here in Melbourne. Mag-expire na po ang visa for 08 niya. Will there be a chance po na maging subsequent po siya kahit po bago lang kami with our relationship? Yes, you can, pero dapat mag-asawa kayo. Kasi yung boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, that's not a legal relationship of, accommodated by the legislation, no? So you either need to be in a de facto relationship that is recognized or registered under the law, or you could get married, and that means you will be husband and wife, and you have the legal documentation about that. But if you're going to do a de facto relationship as the basis of that relationship, you have to be mindful that the relationship did exist, no, between the two of you. Most preferably 12 months that you have been living together. Or if you think you can't make it, then maybe you can provide a registration of civil union. If registration of civil union is allowed in your state, because there are other states that do not have the civil union registration. Okay. This is coming from Ana Marie Rodriguez. Good afternoon, attorney. Ano pong visa ang suitable for me aside from student visa? I'm 32 years old. I work for 5 years in a private company, banking, and 6 years in the government sector. BS Accountancy grad po ako. Thank you. Now, if you are an accountant, yes, that's on the list. But if you're not an accountant, then that's a problem. Because then you need to identify what kind of work do you do, what is your title, so that we can find out whether the kind of work that you do is on the list. And then find out how much score will you get under skilled migration. Because I don't know. You just said to me 37 years old, but I don't know the other factors. If you're keen, then maybe you can book an appointment so that we can discuss all the different categories for points claiming and find out whether you are eligible for 491, 189, 190. Okay? Crisabel Beraga Pascua, good day po, attorney. My daughter is 18 years old and will get a student visa after senior high dito. Anong visa po kaya kunin ko para makasama niya po ako? Are you a parent? Yeah, daughter niya. Okay. Yeah, so I just look it up, no. Merong guardian visa, which I thought was closed last year for whatever reason. But then I look it up again, and it seemed to be available. So there is a student guardian visa that may be available for you. Alternatively, you can do a tourist visa. From Violeta Maingpis Decalog, attorney, is it okay to apply for a tourist visa while waiting for the result of the EOI or ROI? Yes, definitely yes. There's no issue with that. It doesn't affect your current EOI or ROI if you have the tourist visa. Yeah, has nothing to do with anything. From TK Byrne, attorney 37 na po ako, mag-student po ako. May chance po kaya for PR. Kitchen management po kunin ko and course. Okay, first, 37 years old for student visa. I doubt that you will get the student visa, but who am I to say? I did not see your documents. I did not see your history. Kung kitchen management ka, then you will become a chef. Chef is on the list, and yeah, possible na magkaroon ng PR. But I'm more worried about the student visa that you're going to get because of your age. Okay, so I so okay, so this is from Rona Swetaang. Attorney, good evening. Is there any chance makakuha ng student visa kahit may edad na? Ito ang dami nating tanong tungkol sa age, you know. Unfortunately, you know, in the early times it's okay, no? Kahit na 45, 55, we've done 57 years old and we were able to get a student visa. Pero it has to be consistent with the age. Yun yung lagi kong sinasabi. Now, if you are 45 years old and then you're going to get certificate 3, parang hindi na siya consistent. Tapos walang trabaho sa Philippines. Baka hindi na yan consistent. So, pwedeng mag-apply ng student visa, yes. Pero, yung approval ang question doon, ma-approve ba? And sa tingin ko, most likely, hindi. Ngayon, kung, say for example, 55 years old ka or 50 years old and you want to get master's or PhD, then I say, yes, it's okay. At ikaw ay academician sa Philippines o ikaw ay professor or a researcher wanting to come to Australia for your master's degree and 55 years old ka, yeah, fine, it's okay. Because it's consistent to what you're doing in your career, no? Pero kung 40 years old, 37 years old, tapos biglang babagsak ng Certificate 3, available naman yung Certificate 3 in Commercial Cookery sa Philippines. In fact, ang daming ang course sa Philippines ng culinary arts. Ang gaganda ng mga programs nila. Tapos you wanna come to Australia. And this is where the problem is. This is where the issue is coming from. That's why there are refusals. Because intindi na baka pwede na yan or something, no? Noon pwede, may mga naaprobahan, pero this time that's why I'm trying to explain this. No, it's becoming different, no? Marami ng mga strict regulations, and Australia really want people to be genuinely studying in Australia or genuine students sila. Kasi ang pinapalakas ng Australia ngayon is the international studies sector, no? Yung income na makukuha doon na walang prospect ng PR or something. Pero kung makakakuha ka, yes, hindi ka pagbabawalan. Pero kung mapapansin nyo, may mga balakid along the way. And yung mga balakid na yon, dapat makikita mo bago ka mag-apply ng student visa kasi you will face those hindrances, those obstacles. And mahirap in the end, sasabihin niyo na, hindi sinabi sa amin ng agent namin, akala namin ganito, akala namin ganon. So yeah, that makes it really nasty pag andito na sa Australia. Okay, so maybe I can do 2 more questions. Shenli Gascon, I'm a teacher in Thailand for 2 years. Attorney, am I eligible to apply as a teacher in AU? Yes, definitely. If you are a registered teacher and you've done 45 days of supervising teaching or practice teaching, you have a license as a teacher, and you can get 8778 in your IELTS, yes, you will be welcome, and I'll be positive that you get a visa under skilled migration. Okay. Yeah. Lex Camo. Hello po, attorney. Kasal po kami ng asawa ko sa Pinas at meron pong problema sa citizenship ng asawa ko. At dito po ako ngayon sa Australia, nag-apply ng partner visa. Makakaapekto po ba yung mali sa marriage certificate namin, attorney, sa pag-apply namin ng partner visa onshore, attorney? Nakigamit lang ako ng FB account ng kapatid ko, attorney. Salamat po. Shania, wag mong tanggalin yung yung question sa screen because I want to read it well. So kasal kayo ng asawa mo sa Pinas. May problema sa citizenship ng asawa mo. Ano yung citizenship ng asawa mo? Australia ba o Filipino din? Tapos nandito ka ngayon sa Australia, mag-apply ka ng partner visa. Ano yung problem sa citizenship ng asawa mo? Hindi ba siya tunay na citizen ng Australia? Kaya may problem? So medyo malabo yon. Ngayon, kung makakaapekto dahil mali sa marriage certificate, ano yung mali sa marriage certificate? Para malaman natin eksakto. And then, pag nag-apply ng partner visa, onshore, attorney. Okay, so I need to be clarified, Lex, no? So first, ano yung citizenship na pinag-usapan natin dito? And ano yung problema sa citizenship niya? And then pangalawa, ano yung mali na nasa marriage certificate ninyong dalawa nung nagpakasal kayo? And then paano tayo mag-apply ng onshore at kung pwede ba? So I will encourage you to book an appointment para mapag-usapan natin yan in detail kasi mahirap akong sumagot nang hindi ko alam kung ano yung problema at kung alin yung mali. Pero kung may problema, palaging may solusyon. So tandaan yon ha, kung may problema, palaging may solusyon. So please book a consultation and we're going to look at that. Okay, so maraming salamat sa mga nag-participate tonight. Ang sarap ng kwentuhan natin. Kaya lang we have to end our Wednesday discussion. So kita-kita ulit tayo. Maybe not next week because it's Holy Week, no? Doon na tayo sa following week to, again, have something like this. If you haven't liked our page, please like it or please follow it. Meron po kami sa TikTok, meron kami sa Instagram, meron kami sa YouTube, and meron kami sa Facebook. And also, if you think some of your friends or relatives will benefit from the discussions we have, please lang, pakishare naman. And also, say thank you naman paminsan-minsan kasi po ito'y walang bayad, no? For 1 hour, I'm entertaining your questions. Kahit na po like lang, we will be very happy if you're liking the episodes that we're doing every Wednesday, no? Salamat, Rona. Salamat. So maraming salamat po. And I'll see you not this coming Wednesday, but the Wednesday after for another episode of Visa Mo, Sagot Ko. Hatid po sa inyo ng Auspac Visa. Thank you. Bye.
Australia, the land of opportunity, natural beauty, and endless possibilities. If you ever dreamed of calling Australia your home, Auspac Visa is here to make that dream a reality. At Auspac Visa, we specialize in helping Filipinos secure the Australian visa they need. Our team of experienced immigration experts is here to guide you every step of the way. From visa applications to paperwork, we handle it all. You can focus on planning your new life down under. And when the time comes, we'll be there with you as you take the oath and become an Australian citizen. Join the thousands of satisfied clients who have made their dreams come true with Auspac Visa. Australia is waiting for you. Contact Auspac Visa today and start your journey towards a brighter future. Auspac Visa, your trusted immigration law services. Call us today or visit our website to schedule your consultation.